नमस्कार स्टूडेंट्स, आई एम अचलेश्वर सांकला, पीजीटी फिजिक्स, केंद्रीय विद्यालय ब्यावर. आई एम taking chapter 4 of class 7 heat. Which season you observe in this picture? Yes, it is winter season. In winter season we feel cold and therefore we wear woolen clothes. Which season you observe in this picture? Yes, it is summer season. In summer season we feel hot and therefore we wear cotton cloths of light colors. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? Ice cream is cold, spoon in a teacup is hot, fruit juice is cold, handle of a frying pan is hot. Do not touch objects which are too hot. We see that some objects are cold while some are hot. You also know that some objects are hotter than others while some are colder than others. How do we decide which object is hotter than other? Activity: how much we can rely on our touch of sense. Take 3 large mugs, label them as A, B and C. Put cold water in mug A and hot water in mug B. Mix some cold and hot water in mug C. Now dip your left hand in mug A and the right hand in mug B. After keeping the hands in the two mugs for 2 to 3 minutes, put both the hands simultaneously in mug C. Do both the hands get the same feeling? No. Our left hand tells us that the water in mug C is hot and the right hand tells us that the same water is cold. So much confusions. Therefore, we cannot completely rely on the sense of touch to measure the temperature of the object. So what is temperature? Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of an object. How can we measure temperature of the body? We can measure the temperature of a body by using thermometer. And what is thermometer? So thermometer is a device to measure the temperature of an object. There are two types of thermometer: clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer. It is a device that is used to measure the body temperature of a person. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. When the temperature increases, the mercury level in the thermometer rises up in the thread-like portion in the thermometer, which indicates the temperature of the body. The level of the mercury can be measured by reading the scale given on the thermometer. The scale of the thermometer records the temperature in degrees Celsius, generally 35 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius, which is the range of the human body. So what is the range of the human body? Temperature of the human body? The temperature of human body varies from 35 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. It is called range of the human body temperature. On an average, the temperature of human body is around 37 degrees Celsius. Some person has greater than the 37 degrees Celsius temperature and some person has the lower the 37 degrees Celsius body temperature. The other scale with the range 94 to 108 degrees is the Fahrenheit scale. It was used earlier. The clinical thermometer has a small sharp curve called kink present near the bulb. This kink prevents the mercury level from the falling down on its own in the thermometer. How to use the clinical thermometer? First of all, clean the thermometer using antiseptic solution. Before taking the temperature, make sure that the level of mercury is below 35 degrees Celsius. Place the thermometer beneath the tongue about a minute. Then you can take it out and observe the temperature reading on the thermometer. What precautions should be taken while using a clinical thermometer? Wash the clinical thermometer before and after using it. Make sure that the temperature of thermometer is below 35 degrees Celsius before taking the temperature. Keep the thermometer straight in order to see the mercury level precisely. It should always be held with care or it can break down. You should not touch the bulb of the thermometer at all. Next is a laboratory thermometer. A thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of the objects other than the human body. Other than the human body is called laboratory thermometer. It can measure the temperature from range minus 110 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Range means the minimum temperature to the maximum temperature mentioned in the graduation of the thermometer. Let us now learn how this thermometer is used. Take some tap water in a beaker or a mug. Dip the thermometer in water so that the bulb is immersed in water but does not touch the bottom or the side of the container. If it will touch the bottom or side of the container, then it will measure the temperature of the container. Hold the thermometer vertically. Observe the movement of mercury in the thermometer. Wait till the mercury thread becomes steady. The bulb of the thermometer should be completely immersed in the substance so that it covers the bulb from all the sides. Other types of thermometer. Minimum maximum thermometer. It is a thermometer used to measure the minimum and maximum temperature of the day. Next is digital thermometer. Mercury is a toxic substance and is very difficult to dispose of it. If a thermometer breaks, these days a digital thermometers are available which do not use mercury. Infrared digital thermometers. Nowadays, for corona patients, this type of thermometer is being used to measure the temperature of the human body, which uses infrared waves. Without touching the human body, we can measure the temperature of the person by using infrared digital thermometer. Heat. Heat is a form of energy. It is due to temperature difference. It flows from hotter object to colder object. Transfer of heat. You might have observed that a frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So you can understand that in both cases the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. In fact, in all cases heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. Paheli asks, Does it mean that heat will not be transferred if the temperature of the two objects is the same? Definitely yes. How does heat flow? Let us investigate. Based on the activity, take a metal rod, fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distances as per figure. Clamp the rod to a stand, or you can also fix the rod between the two bricks. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe. What happens to the wax pieces? Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece will fall the first? Do you think that the heat is transferred from the end nearest to the flame to the other end? If your answer is yes, then the process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. In solids, generally the heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Do all the substances conduct heat easily? Let us find out. Heat water in a small pan or a beaker. Collect some articles such as a steel spoon, plastic scale, pencil and divider. Dip one end of each of these articles in hot water. Wait for a while. Touch the other end. We enter our observations in the table. Steel spoon, which is made of the material of metal, becomes hot. Plastic scale, which is made of plastic, does not become hot. Pencil made of wood does not become hot. Divider made of metal becomes hot. Therefore, on the basis of transfer of heat, there are two types of materials: conductors and insulators. The materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors of heat. For example, aluminium, iron, copper, silver, etc. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily or poor conductors of heat are called insulators of heat. For example, plastic, wood, ceramic, rubber, glass, etc. The water and air are poor conductors of heat. Then how does the heat transfer take place in these substances? Let us find out. Take a round bottom flask. If flask is not available, a beaker can be used. Fill it 2/3 with water. Place it on a tripod or make some arrangements to place the flask in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it. Wait till the water in the flask is still. Place a crystal of potassium permanganate at the bottom of the flask gently using a straw. Now heat the water by placing the candle just below the crystal. What do you observe? When water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the sides move down towards the source of heat. This water also gets hot and rises, and water from the sides move down. This process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. Convection, the transfer of heat in liquids and gases, is called convection. The air or liquid near the heat source gets hot and rises. The air or liquid from the sides come back in to take place. In this way, the air or liquid gets heated. Radiation. It is a process of transfer of heat in the form of waves. For example, the sun's heat reaches the earth's surface through radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. It means it can also travel in vacuum. Every hot object radiates some heat into the environment. Hence, many times an object gets heated just by being near to a hot object. Notice that towards the top, the air gets heated by convection. Therefore, the hand above the flame feels hot. On the sides, however, there is no convection and air does not feel as hot as at the top. It is radiation. The people living in the coastal areas experience an interesting phenomenon. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the water. The air above the land becomes hotter and rises up. The cooler air from the sea rushes in towards the land to take its place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. The air from the sea is called the sea breeze. To receive the cooler sea breeze, the windows of the houses in coastal areas are made to face the sea. At night, it is exactly the reverse. The water cools down more slowly than the land. So, the cool air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called the land breeze. Figure shows this phenomenon. Kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. You know that in summer we prefer light colored clothes and in winter we wear usually dark colored clothes. Why it is so? Let us find out. Take two identical tin cans, paint the outer surface of one black and of the other white. Pour equal amounts of water in each and leave them in the midday sun for about an hour. Measure the temperature of water in both the cans. You can find any difference in the temperatures. Now you can understand why we use dark colored clothes in winter and light colored clothes in summer. Why do we wear light colored clothes in summer? The light colored clothes reflect the heat back into the environment and keeps us cool during the summer time. Why do we wear dark colored clothes in winters? The dark colored clothes absorb the heat from the environment and keep us warm. How do wooden cloths keep us warm? The wooden cloths are a bad conductor of heat. Therefore, they do not allow the heat from the body to move out in the environment. As a result, The air present between the woolen cloths and our body becomes hot, and this makes us feel warm. Similarly, two thin blankets provides more heat than one thick blanket because air can be trapped between the two thin blankets. Thank you.